welcome back to Desire to Inspire, your mama's favorite podcast. Happy belated birthday to the boy right here. We forgot last week because we're trying to get ahead. But how's it feel, dude? 31.
31 feels good.
Everybody club.
I know, dude. Everybody who says, oh, when you hit 30, life goes downhill, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I am telling you, life is only going uphill since I hit 30s. I love 30s, and I'm very excited to see what I achieve and accomplish in my 30s because...
You think you'll have the same energy in your 40s?
I hope I do.
Me too.
If I stay fit, if I stay focusing on the habits, the daily things, I think that I'll always feel younger and better than what the perceived notion is when you hit a certain age or decade.
Yeah.
So hopefully I don't go off the rails and end up getting fat and lazy, but I think I have a solid group of people around me that won't let that happen.
I think like the moment you start to get a little pudgy and we were like sitting down recording, like, hold on, dude. Let's back up for a second.
Everybody is like, yeah, this dude leads a health and wellness business, but he's
slowly
fat as
getting fatter and fatter, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping that never happens.
Yeah. Let's not hope for it. Let's make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, we will. We'll hold each other accountable. That's why we got each other. So at the end of the day, if I'm getting fucking fat, call me out.
Did it scare you for like when you start to have kids? Are you like, shit, like what if I start to slip up?
Yeah, I mean, I think all those thoughts go through your head at some point, but it's not something that I think of often.
For me, it's not even so much like I don't think I'll work out because I think like I'll just wake up earlier to make sure I get it in before the family gets up. What I'm more concerned about is like my kids not finishing their food and not I eat it. That's my main concern because if there's food around now, Mandy doesn't eat it, I'm going to finish it.
Yep.
And this is a fucked up like thought from when we're kids. Like you got to clean your plate. Maybe I'm full, dude. And now I just
shovel it in.
Eat past full. I try not to, but it happens.
It does happen. Yeah, and too, like you're going to go through little drive-thrus with the toddlers at some point and be like, oh, okay, I'll pop
But you don't have to do that. That's the thing. It's like everyone's like, oh, my kid only eats mac and cheese and chicken nuggets. But that's because at some point you gave them mac and cheese and chicken nuggets. If they don't know any better.
I want my kid to be like Nick Bear's kid.
Bro, they used to be fucking gnawing on bones, bro.
Eating the tomahawk bones and shit. I'm like, that's going to be my child
I just want to be able to like eat a tomahawk at home.
Maybe I'll buy one tonight. Nah, I won't. I'll probably buy a steak though.
I was about to say, I'm coming back, bro.
I try to cook a steak like once a week, if not twice.
Yeah.
I love fucking
It's
steak.
nice having the grill here. I got to walk up to the leasing office and it's a grill. It's a grill, but I feel like it's not the same.
Yeah.
When it's a community grill, it doesn't feel like it cooks the same.
I do agree, but Lo and I did a really good job of using the communal grills. Good God.
You good, bro?
I don't know. You would think that this thing was carbonated. We did a really good job at utilizing the communal grills at our apartment complexes, both in Dallas and here when we lived in them. But
I use them.
The convenience factor of going to my backyard.
For her birthday, dude, I had to make all those hot dogs that were there. I just stuck skewers through them and put them on there, and I just flip them over.
That's not a bad idea.
I didn't have tongs or anything. Which that was a mistake. She told me there was tongs up there. There wasn't. So I'm grabbing this hot-ass stick, bro. I'm trying to flip these hot dogs over. Not a good look.
You see the actually, I want to get back to the topic of 30s, but since we're talking about hot dogs, you see the TikTok I sent you?
I did. I showed it to her. She's trying to get away from hot dogs, bro. She doesn't want it to be her personality. You know, like the people, have we talked about this on here?
I think so.
Where like you have like, someone gets you like a little knickknack of like a pig. And next thing you know, your whole kitchen's pigs. That's what's happening with hot dogs right now. And we can't have this. PSA, Mandy hates hot dogs now.
He's lying.
All right.
So 30. You were talking about 30s and stuff like that. Did you, by chance, have a moment to read my news article?
I did.
What did you think of it? Or was it my... Oh, no. Actually...
Your drive-by I did not watch.
Yeah, because I forgot to freaking post it this week, dude.
I didn't post this week, so it looks like we're on the same page, dude.
I thought today was Thursday, and I was like, shit, it's Friday. I forgot to post my drive-by. It's filmed and everything. So you haven't seen it because my news article, I believe, was on a different topic.
It was like, it had to do with your birthday and like reflecting. Yeah. That was about it.
All right, dude. So let's dive.
I was thinking, I was like, did I miss something? I didn't see anything profound in there.
Yeah, no. Let's dive into, and I'll post my daily drive-by, but it's now.
I'm not posting a vlog. Some of the files got like corrupted transferring over my computer. I was like, I'm not just posting 2 runs from my phone. This is pointless.
Yeah.
So I had some good conversations on there too. I had to redo them for this week. So you guys will see that next week.
There we go.
Actually, you've already seen it by this point.
I might post it on Saturday. I might post it next Thursday. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but it's filmed. So we'll just talk about it here, and then you can go into the daily drive-by. I'll title it something about my realization in my 30s or something like that.
It'll be out regardless by the time this comes out.
Yeah. But I talk in the daily drive-by about thinking of turning 31. And as I'm driving, I'm on the road a lot, so I have a lot of time to like sit there and reflect. I try and be present with life. I try to not just like mindlessly do stuff when I have a 2-hour plane ride or a 4-hour car drive. I try and be intentional with my thoughts, the things that I'm listening to, consuming. And I just had a lot of like happiness and a lot of realizations prior to this birthday that I've never had before. And what I mean by that is my entire life growing up, I never saw my potential. I never believed in myself. I never gave myself like kudos. I never had the confidence.
This was touched on in your newsletter.
Yeah, but more in depth on the drive-by. Okay. And so as I was like getting ready to turn 31 and my birthday was coming up, I was like sitting back and I was like, wow, I think for the first time in my life, I actually see my self-worth. I see my potential. I see what everybody was telling me growing up, my moms, my aunts, uncles, friends, of like going and being more, doing more, pushing the limits, achieving things because I'm capable of it. And it was really cool to kind of like sit there and reflect on it because like right now in life, I 1,000,000% believe in everything that I'm doing, from my marriage that I have coming up, to the things that we're working on in DTI, to the friends that I have around me, to the things that I'm letting and not letting bother me. Like there was a lot this birthday that I realized as well. Like there's a lot of people when I was going through all those life things that I was like, these people are going to be the ones that are there for me. These people are going to be the ones that show up when I can't show up for myself. And I can't tell you how wrong I was about that. It is more or less the people that I didn't think would be there for me are there for me, and the ones that I did think would be there for me aren't. And I don't need anybody. I was just talking the other day about how I don't hold expectations on people. But like it's even wild to look back and be like, oh, wow, this person reached out to me when my dad's 11th year was here, or this person didn't reach out to me. And it was the same thing with my birthday. Like some people that I thought would reach out for my birthday, I was like, interesting. They didn't reach out on either of those events. And I don't know if it's because I'm older and people are like, oh, he doesn't need it because he's older or whatever. But it hit me in a weird way where I was like, it's very odd. But then it also like made me reflect and be like, this is why you don't hold expectations on people. Because I know some individuals who get real upset if people don't wish them a happy birthday, who don't reach out on this, who don't this. And I'm past that point in life where I don't hold it against them. Like I truly don't give a fuck. Like reach out if you want to, don't reach out if you don't want to. That's not the point of it. But the point of all of this is like, I feel like I'm so in tune with the direction that I want to go in life that that's all I can focus on right now. And it's just a great feeling to have because again, for so long, I lived this life that people saw, but internally I was struggling so bad, and not like struggling where like I'm beat down, depressed down, this and that. Like I struggled so bad because I didn't see all of that. Yeah. And so most people think that from the outside, that's the punching bag, and you got this judgment here and this, blah, blah, blah. But like, dude, I was fighting the only person that was truly there for me, and that was myself. I was fighting him every single day, every single year growing up. No, you're not this, you're not that, you ain't going to be this, you can't do this, oh, you're this, blah, blah, blah.
What do you think spawned those thoughts? Like, why do you think you had those internal thoughts if, like, everybody on the outside was saying that you could do those things?
Self-deprecation that we've talked about. I don't know. I was given every opportunity to be successful in school, to be successful in sports, to be successful in life. I had great role models and people to look up to. But maybe it was like all of the little comments that were like jokes or like side comments or bullying that might have stuck with me. And so I didn't see it. Maybe it was like, I don't know. I think one day I'll be able to depict that. Right now, I don't know what it is. Sponsored time. You guys know the deal. Here at DTI, we want to help people live a healthier, happier lifestyle. We're excited to partner with First Form because their mission is to impact one person's life a day. First Form gives us the capabilities to help you guys reach and achieve the goals you set forth. Utilize First Form through their supplements or their merchandise to live a more active lifestyle, putting yourself first and prioritizing the things that are important. Try First Form today with the link below. Back to the show. But I know that I don't think that way anymore because of all of the things that I've been through in life, from losing people to not getting things to having other outside factors weigh on me because of how close people were to me. Like, there's so many different things that you learn different lessons in life. And for some, like, even like when I was super depressed, like for some, they don't, or they haven't, or they can't, or one day they will find the good in it. So like, I'll just use my dad for an example. When he passed away, it was so dark. It was so bad. It led me to my fucking deepest, darkest thoughts and state of mind and everything like that. And I was like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get over this in life. Like, I just could never understand, like, why did he have to pass away? But I've told you before, and I've said it on here, that darkest day has now turned into the brightest day because I've learned how to rethink it and recalibrate it, where now it's like, okay, because I can see through and I have light coming into this tunnel, I can position it this way without it seeming like a bad thing. Like, my dad dying was the best day of my life, but it wasn't. But now that I can look at it differently, it helped me find my purpose and my why. So it's the best day because I found my purpose, I found my why, and now my dad can live through me. And I can continue to push the messages that he taught me and the things he had me grow up doing, learning, developing, how he had me growing. I ended my speech at Tone's wedding with something that my dad said. Like, I got to have my dad relive again. Yeah. People don't know how much that meant, but like, that was a message from my dad, and I got to tell people, and it just like hammered home my fucking speech that I gave. And so now my dad's living through me because I got out of this dark funk, and because I was able to spin the narrative. Instead of it being the reason why I can't do stuff, it's now the reason that I can do stuff. And so when you can transition that mindset through depression, anxiety, losing people, financial struggles, because at one point I was fucking in endless amounts of credit card debt and student loans and all these different things. Back then it was a struggle, but I got through it and I learned the lessons of it. And I think that's what's so important. That's what I finally realized going into 31, is that all of these tragic things that I have been through in life, that I've went through, that have weighed on me for days, weeks, months, years, are now the things that are fueling my drive, are fueling my passion. They're now the reason why I want to go out and be a better person and do more. Because people can look at the old versions of you, like we've talked about. They can look at the old versions and think that's you. They can look at the new versions and think something else. But the people that are integrated in your life and that have been there for you, whether it's for decades or days, they see that self-worth that you have. They see that potential that you have, that you now exude in yourself. And that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you forward. If I were to dwell on the people that don't reach out for my dad's anniversaries, if I were to dwell on the people that didn't reach out for my birthday,
it's affecting you, not them.
Yeah. So what is that doing? And am I ever going to be like, oh, you didn't do this? But if it comes up naturally, maybe. But again, not from the position of like angst or anger. Yeah. But from maybe like, hey, we've distanced each other. Like, is this a point where we start getting closer together in life? Or is this a part where it's like, oh yeah, it is what it is. Doesn't mean I look at you any differently. But like you said, if I were to hold on to all those things and have the mindset of like, well, I'm going to hold a grudge on you, and I'm going to hold a grudge on you, and that's doing nothing. Yeah. I won't be able to push my life forward. I won't be able to push my relationship forward. I won't be able to push the business forward. I won't be able to strive at work. And so it's just really cool. And I hope that people hear this message, not coming from a sense of like, oh, he thinks he's all this, but from a sense of like, find the peace within your life and the things that you've been through, So that way you can continue to move forward and use those as fuel to the fire instead of letting those be the water that puts the fire out, and then you can never reach and achieve the dreams, goals, and ambitions that you have in life.
Unfortunately, I think there's always going to be people who take it that way and think, oh, like he thinks he's better now. He thinks this and that. But that's also coming from the same people who feel the need to hold on to everything. And like, I mean, relationships, all this, like, because they didn't reach out, that has nothing to do with you. Like, who knows what they're going through?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
We don't fucking know that. But it might just be that relationship has ran its course and it's served its purpose in your life. And maybe we don't need to have this relationship anymore, at least on the in-depth level that we used to or whatever. But there's a lot of people out there who just want to try to hold on, even when it's not serving them, and it's just holding them back, man. It's like the longer you try to drag somebody along who doesn't want to get better or who doesn't want to see you succeed or that type of a thing, like you're just slowing yourself down and holding yourself back from your potential.
Yeah. It makes me think back to this one pastor or minister that I saw on social media, and he was up on stage and he was free, but he was walking and he was like, oh, and then Karen said something to me, and they attached a string to him and somebody was holding it on the other end. And, oh, so-and-so did this, another string. And next thing you know, he's got like 15 strings and he's moving slower. He's walking slower. And so it's like, man, when you can start cutting those strings and cutting, and not to be like, well, let's just push it to the side and not worry about it and it'll figure. No, like truly come to terms with it and then move forward. Like I am not somebody that sits here and dwells on stuff anymore. Yeah. If we have a conversation and we're like, all right, we're good, then we're good. I'm not going to bring it up 2 weeks later, a month later, and be like, well, I still have more to say. Fuck that. Like that. So that's how I approach it. If you and I have a conversation about something we don't agree with in the business, I'm not going to sit here for months and be like, no, fuck that. Like, how do I get my way? Okay, cool. What's the resolution? What's the solution? Let's move forward. And that's what it is. And so whether it's conversations, whether it's careers, like so many people hold themselves back because they're miserable in their career. They want to talk about it. They want to dwell on it. They want to go home and bitch to their wife about it, but they don't want to do anything about it because it's scary. What am I going to do after this? What am I going to... It's like, you know how many jobs are out there? You know how many things are out there? Go after it. Guess what? Being uncomfortable is probably the best thing that you can do in life besides failing. When you fail and when you get uncomfortable, you learn, develop, and grow into somebody better. We're going to make mistakes along this new journey that we're on.
We already are, probably.
Yeah.
We just don't know it yet.
That doesn't mean that we need to be scared. That doesn't mean that we don't need to go after it. That doesn't mean that we need to hold back and be reserved. Because guess what? When you do that, it's all those strings attached to you, and you can't make any progress at all. So it's cutting those strings, figuring a solution, and moving forward. Politics is a great thing. You'll have one conversation about politics, and I will say Trump is the best president in the world, and somebody will be like, fuck you, don't talk to me, because I said that. Or I could be like, Joe Biden is my hero, and another person would be like, fuck you, Trump's the best, and they'll hold on to it. How does that impact your life? Do you still like me down to the core of who I am? Then what does it matter a political
Not
view?
If you say that.
And so, again, you can tie it to anything. Politics, family, this. It's just like, man, figure out a way to just get through it. Cut the strings so that way you can be free and live life.
Yeah. I want to go back to you saying, like, that it's because they're scared. And I'm glad that you bring that up, because when I asked you, like, what do you think was, like, driving those internal thoughts? And it's, like, the self-deprecating stuff. We've talked about it before. Like, I had a lot of those same internal thoughts. Like, I've been there. I've felt what that feels like, and it's not a fun place to be in. But for me, a lot of it was fear. And so it was like the fear of letting people down, the fear of failing, the fear of like all of these things of like worst case scenario, what could go wrong, and never looking at like, oh, but it could also turn out to be this. And I think that the biggest switch there is like you have faith in your purpose. And like you have faith in like this is the path I'm supposed to be on. And if I just move in that direction, like it's all going to work itself out. But the more you hold on to this fear, like you're giving it power. Like you're ultimately like praising this fear because you're not letting it, like it's controlling you. You're not letting it go, so you can never move in the direction that you're supposed to move.
Yeah. And it's crazy because our brains and us as humans are way more accepting of giving that fear the spotlight, giving that uncertainty the spotlight, giving that scaredness the spotlight instead of the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that comes from upbringing. I don't know if that comes from what. But it's so weird to me how we as humans can wake up, be like, oh, today's going to be a bad fucking day because I got to go back in that office. What happens if it's a great day? What happens?
Then it goes against what the program you've already told yourself in your mind.
Yep.
You want it to be, like most people want it to be a bad day. So they have something to complain about and it just reaffirms their thought process and the fact that they're a victim. That's just a sad truth that we live in. Is that most people just want to reaffirm the fact that they were dealt a shitty hand. Like they fell short. Like it wasn't their fault, but somebody else put me in this position and it's on them that I can't do what I'm supposed to do. They don't want to take accountability.
Dude, this is why this is so important, this fucking logo right here and this brand, because this can be spun into like our mental health. Like, oh, nope, I got anxiety today. I'm a little anxious. I'm this and that. I'm shaking a little bit in the morning. It's like, well, are you shaking because you're anxious or did you have too much coffee and now you're relating that to anxiety? But then there's the other avenue of maybe there's a big presentation that you're nervous about. Maybe it's not like truly anxiety, but maybe it's like because you have something big going on in life where it's like, oh man, it's nerves. It's not anxious. Or maybe it's from a different angle where somebody's like, I can't lose weight. I've tried everything. And it's like, really? Well, then why were you eating fast food this past weekend? Mm-hmm. Why were you out drinking? Why were you not hitting 10,000 steps? Why were you not in the gym once? Yeah. Like we just, like you said, we tell ourselves narratives in our head to make it come true what our thoughts are. Our preconceived notions. How can I make those preconceived notions the accurate truth versus the other way? Because like for a while, I had to consciously think like, all right, today's going to be a good day. Like when I was in a dark place, today's going to be a good day. I had to remind myself so much so that I wrote it on my fucking mirror in the bathroom. And then I wrote something else. And then I wrote something else. People call them words of affirmation. I want to say they fucking worked. Because at one point, I could not get out of bed without thinking these thoughts.
It changes a mental program. So instead of like me looking for reasons that this is bad, you're not looking for reasons that it's good. It's the same thing. You're just doing it the other way. And it takes work to get to that point.
A lot of work.
But
it changes,
possible.
Dude. It changes.
And it changes everything. Like it changes the way you look at everything, not just work.
Yeah.
I saw something on the anxiety point that said that like anxiety and excitement do like the same neurological things in your mind. Like your brain doesn't really know the difference between anxiety and excitement. It's like wherever you put that energy. So like if you're anxious, like you can just like talk yourself into like, this is like an excitement and like I'm anticipating this in a good way. Like think about when you start at the fucking Ironman start line. You're there, you're ready to go. You feel that.
Yeah.
And like it could go either way. You could be like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Like this might end really badly. Or like you can take that energy and let it fuel you. You have that capability in all aspects of your life. It's just the same thing. Like, where do I place that energy? Like, what bucket is this glass half full or is it half empty? And it's a super simple, basic thing that people say all the time. Like, oh, he looks at the glass half empty. But like, it's so serious. Like,
yeah,
everything is the way that you view it. It's all perspective.
Perspective can, how can I say this so that way it hits? Perspective will not like, I want to say like perspective will kill a living man, meaning like, or woman, meaning like we as humans are alive, but we're actually dead because we're not going after, we're not chasing, we're not dreaming, we're not envisioning, we're not believing. And it's sad because, again, like, it took me 30 years to realize this stuff. Like, I'm talking about it for a reason because, like, it hit me to the core, bro.
But even that, look at the perspective of, I learned this by the age of 30, because there's 6-year-olds out there who still haven't learned this. So like that in itself, like it took me 30 years. Damn, it only took me 30 years to learn this. Like even that can just be rethought.
Yep. It's cool. If you guys aren't picking up on anything in this conversation, just pick up on like how do you talk to yourself? Because again, it starts with when you get out of bed, and it funnels.
It might even start before you get out of bed.
True.
Like how many people lay there for 10 minutes and just beat themselves up?
Snooze, snooze, snooze. That's been me lately, bro.
I saw it this morning.
I've been struggling getting up at 5 a.m. But yeah, and so giving, I want to try and give like action items for people to be able to like help solve this, is that if any of this related to you, where you're like, man, maybe I don't see my self-worth as much as I do, or as much as I hear from those around me, or maybe I am a little bit anxious or depressed, or maybe I am a little bit out of shape, or maybe I am not tackling these goals and dreams that I have. Like, think about it from when you first open your eyes. How can you make sure that you're talking to yourself in a positive way? And again, it might all be facetious. It might all be a dream. You might actually not feel this way. But how can you start subconsciously tricking your mind from going like, oh, fuck, I have to go into work, to being like, yes, I get to go into work. And then from there, like, what are the things that you can do? And so I said when we were having this conversation that when I was at my lowest of lows in Dallas, Texas, I would write on my mirror, and I would read those things every morning. Some mornings I tried to not look at them, and I would force myself to read them. Some days out loud, some days in my head, some days more than once. And I would continue to add to that list to just reassure in my head, like, today's going to be a great day. You have what it takes. It's going to get easier, whatever those things are. That simple task, that simple thing, then turned into me, without me even thinking of it, walking into a gym that I once would never have done. Then that made me start feeling enough better to go and start getting steps in. And then that made me focus on my eating. Then that made me focus on my drinking. Then that made me focus on my career. Then that made me focus on my happiness. Like, it's crazy. We preach habits all the time, but I'm telling you guys, when you start doing the little things every single day, they compound. Sometimes it takes a day. Sometimes it takes a year. Like, you don't know. But as long as you keep that traction going and you truly believe that it will change, even on the hard days, because the hard days make the good days better, you will see the progress. You will see the success. You will see the traction start forming. And now you can get to a place where it's like, whoa, this is how I should be enjoying life and seeing life.
Optic Nerve was our very first sponsor here at the Desire to Inspire podcast, and it's still one that we are pumped to be partnered up with today. I was linked up with them when I was living in Colorado. They are owned and operated out of Vail, and all of their products get tested in the mountains, so you know that it's built for an active lifestyle. Freddie and I rock these things all the time. They are made with planet-friendly materials, from recycled plastics to natural wood, and every pair comes with a lifetime warranty. So, I mean, what are you really doing? Hit the link in our bio, support DTI, support Optic Nerve, look fly doing it. Whether you're just out enjoying a nice stroll or getting active, Optic Nerve has got your back. So go to opticnerve.com and use code DTI for 20% off your order today. That's opticnerve.com, code DTI.
Yeah. And it's not going to be easy every single day. I still have days where I'm like, fuck. But I don't give up, and I keep the habits, keep the daily things intact, so that way I don't get off the beaten path too far and get back down. Dylan and I have talked numerous times. The ultimate goal is to never get as low as I once was.
I don't think it's possible. Genuinely.
Nah, I hope not. That shit was scary as hell, bro.
Like, I'd have to, like, we both would have to be so derailed for so long to even get there. It's not like it's just going to happen like that. And we both are intertwined enough to, I would hope, recognize that before it gets to that point. Be like, yo, what's going on? Like, something's different.
Yeah. There are many things that I can pick up now where I'm like, oh, let me pick this back up, or let me tailor this. Like, I ain't going down that path no more. And so, again,
the more you do this stuff, man, the more it's like, and this is kind of for me who doesn't have a morning routine. I kind of have one lately. And it genuinely is like, okay, I've been this productive by 9 o'clock. Why am I going to stop now? Like, I'm not just going to lounge around now. Like, I'm going to do something else to keep this going, because I feel fucking great right now.
Yeah. I was telling somebody what I did on my birthday, and I was like, yeah, I got up at 4. I did stuff for DTI. Then I went and ran 7 miles. And they were like, it's your fucking birthday.
Exactly.
Why didn't you sleep in? Why didn't you this? Why didn't you? I'm like, you got to keep it in motion.
I'm celebrating what this 31-year-old body can do.
Yeah. And so it's just, like you said, once you start changing these things, it all comes to fruition at some point. Because every single day, every single week, every single year, like, I'm learning something new. I'm thinking a different way. I'm like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. And again, the things that once were hurting me don't hurt me no more. The things that I once let consume my brain, I don't let consume my brain anymore. But again, I'm not a superhuman as much as we would like to think we are. So I have to consciously be thinking these things, speaking these things, talking about it, doing. But the main thing, I have to be acting. Not acting as like acting, but acting on a plan, meaning checking off the daily habits, doing the things consistently, and going after it, because that is what moves the needle every single day that you show up for yourself. That meter gets more towards like happiness, excitement, joy, creativity, all of those things. And so it's just one thing that I've kind of just like poof in my head, and I was like, there's something here, and people need to hear about it, and I want to keep speaking about this because it's a big thing. Big thing. Which also kind of ties in another conversation that I want to have if you don't have anything left on that topic.
No.
So
you're good.
We say all these things, and it's like, oh, that's great. Life is going good. Like, you're seeing your value. What the fuck else do you have? Well, let me tell you. We were talking about, like, if you hate your job, go get a new one. We were talking about if you hate your relationship, go get a new one. We're talking about all these things that you can change the narrative. What I also want to say is that the dreams you have are so much closer than you think they are, no matter what they are. A company, a product.
Not again.
A thing.
Might as well just keep rocking with these two.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We use these more than anything anyways.
All right, but they look so good on TikToks. But I guess this won't be too long anyway. So a thing, whatever that is, like when you think of the impact that you want to leave on this earth, what does that look like? And for us, we know what that looks like. We're lucky. We're blessed. That's going to obviously change a little bit, Taylor. Yeah. But we've been doing this for 4 years now where our minds...
That's crazy.
I know. Our minds are thinking bigger. They're thinking more. They're thinking of how do we impact? How do we? And for the longest, it's been these like little shifts and pivots. But lately, it's like we're thinking bigger. We're dreaming bigger. We're like, how can we do this? What if we did this? How about here? And so like people ask us like, what's next for DTI? What are you guys doing? It's like, oh, we're growing. We're doing what we're doing because like we don't know yet. And so like we're trying to figure all these different things out. But I want to talk about the utilization that we have at our fingertips to actually make dreams become a reality, to actually manifest something to come to light because of what we have. And that is this phone that we can use that is literally an endless dictionary for anything that we can think of. And
it's actually crazy to think about like people in the 1920s formulating an idea out of thin air. Like, you couldn't even run a question by, like, who am I going to ask?
Send it with a pigeon.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you are poor, you have no one of influence around you. And you just, like, that's so much more impressive than people today.
Yeah, it is wild to think about. Because I'll tell you, some of the thoughts we have, I don't know how we would make any traction.
Me either.
Back in the 1920s.
We wouldn't.
But everybody looks at technology as this like scary beast where like AI is going to take over the world. It's going to take everybody's jobs. It's going to have this. But I would reverse that thought and be like, if you think that way, then you are a small-minded individual. Take it disrespectful. However you want to take it. I don't give a fuck.
Bitch.
But if you think that AI is going to take or replace you, there's probably deeper conversations that you need to have.
Yeah, make yourself not replaceable.
Exactly. We are humans. We like our capabilities are endless. And so the way I think of it is, how can we use this technology to advance ourselves? How can we use this technology to move more in the future? How can we use this to create our dreams, goals, and aspirations and make them come to life? And for the longest, I've been using my friend for months now. 7.
Do you ever talk to it? Have it speak to you?
What?
You can talk to ChatGPT.
I talk to it every day.
No, not type.
Oh.
Like actually speak.
Oh, no.
I've seen videos of people speaking. Bro, when it talks back to you, like it takes breaths and stuff. Like you like pick its voice basically, and it talks and it sounds like a human. Like it like thinks, like it pauses in spots, like you can hear it breathing. It's fucking wild.
That's insane. So I've been using ChatGPT for what are we in August, for probably like 10 months. And so I have seen the iterations of ChatGPT. I think I started in like 2, and now it's at ChatGPT 5. It's crazy the leaps and bounds. Could it be something to be scary or daunting? Yes, it could.
For sure.
But if you utilize it,
but so was
the
iPhone, the phone, like everything is before you learn how to incorporate it into life.
Yep. I've been looking at it of like, how can I use this to advance my thoughts, to advance my thinking, to advance. ChatGPT's been great. But I also want people to realize the tools with things like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. When we're talking about ideas, I have 3 TikTok accounts. One that I just mindlessly scroll on that is just a random plethora of videos that I laugh at or I cringe at, and I'm like, I don't want to see that again. The other one is our podcast one, and then the other one is the one that I actually post like videos on. Dude, as I'm talking to ChatGPT and I'm looking into different things that you and I discuss, I'm like, hold on a second. I go into TikTok and I'm like, well, let me go onto the business account and I'll just like start looking up stuff. And next thing you know, it opens this whole new world. Next thing you know, my algorithm has changed. If you have a dream, if you have a desire to do something or be something, create a spare TikTok account and use that to curate an algorithm that feeds into whatever that idea or creation or thing that you want to do is. Because, bro, like you said, in the 1920s, you didn't have this outlet to just go to and be like, let me find this information, click. Like, I don't know what you had to do back then, but now we can literally...
encyclopedia and a farmer's almanac.
Now we can literally type into ChatGPT, like, how do I buy a farm? Or how do I fix a car? And it can be this. How do I get certified to be a mechanic? And there are people that are just like us who are passionate about something, sharing all of the knowledge they have. And you can literally get enough information to start going down a track and being like, okay, well, so everybody's saying this a lot. Like, what does this mean? Everybody is saying this a lot. How do I do this? Everybody's focusing on this area. Let me go look into that. And now it gives you tangible things in that given realm that you want to go down to then advance your thoughts, advance your thinking. So now not only can you look on the internet for said thing that they keep saying in the videos, but then you can also take it in ChatGPT and be like, hey, I want to be a mechanic, and there's a lot of people talking about this, and this certificate that I need to do. What does that look like? Oh, what information do I need to study? Oh, what? And you can just get resource after resource after resource. And so as I'm doing this, I'm like, bro, the stuff we're talking about, we're making it come true. Whatever it is, I don't know, but we're going to fucking do it. And so when we can look at social media as a technology to reach and achieve our dreams, it's an unlock in life. I think everybody needs to have a burner account on TikTok solely dedicated to their hobbies, passions, or things that they want to achieve in life.
It gets such a bad rep, but I think it really just like amplifies who you are as a person. It's either going to push you forward if you're driven, or it's going to help you be even lazier if you're lazy.
Damn.
There's a lot of people using ChatGPT just to fucking do the bare minimum and not have to actually do work.
They go
There's
on there
other people,
bitch about their problems, and ChatGPT reassures them like, yeah, it's kind of fucked
like
up.
A student like, write this paper for me, and they go through and they edit it. It's just helping them be more lazy. Or you can take an idea and be like, hey, clean this up. I already wrote this, just clean it up for me. That's helpful. But I think there's a lot of people just getting lazier because of it.
And like,
but also, that's to our benefit. Keep getting lazier, dude. Keep fucking chilling.
Yep. Because again, I was telling you, like, my just mindlessly scrolling account, I would sit on the couch and I would scroll through that. Now I'm on the business account more, looking up ideas, looking up thoughts, looking up all this stuff, and then it's curating the algorithm where I can just skip through and be like,
maybe I should log into it and just see what the algorithm looks like.
Like, why do I keep hearing this one phrase or this one word or this one abbreviation? And I'm like, oh, let me look into this. But now there's intent with my scrolling. We talk about intent. I talk about intent on the road, trying to think the things I'm consuming, watching. Well, then why don't I have intent on social media? Why don't I have intent with technology? So now my intent is there.
It's just hard to do.
It is. And sometimes you need to mindlessly scroll and let your brain free. But like, I don't need to for an hour a day.
But also schedule that time in. Be like, okay, for this little amount of time, I'm going to relax.
Yeah. So it's just like, I'm just realizing like we have every tool and avenue out there to do whatever the hell we want in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, are you going to pair what we were talking about in the beginning with the drive and ambition of technology to be able to propel that and move that forward? So are we going to tell ourselves this will be this one day, this will be this will be this, we will achieve this, we will do this, we will do blah, blah. Or are we going to be like, I don't know, man, maybe we can get there. I don't think we can do this. We'll never be on this stage. But no, just like we talk about how we have to be passionate and driven and know the purpose and why in our lives, like you have to have that with whatever you're going out and tackling as well. Social media influencer, new business, like car washes, whatever that is. Talk about it the same way that you talk about your life. And hopefully that's positive. And if not, then how can you transition that thought so that way it is positive and that way it is pushing the narrative forward instead of keeping you held back with all those ropes? We got to stop limiting our potential. We put such a gap and we let this person inside of here be the constant punching bag to ourselves instead of letting this up here be the reason that it infiltrates positivity and emotion forward to be able to reach, achieve, and conquer things.
Yeah. We're going to reaffirm our thoughts no matter what. As humans, we want to be right. Nobody wants to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you say, I can't do this, the more you're going to take the actions to back that up. And the more you tell yourself you can, you're going to start to act because you don't want to be wrong.
Yeah. Go out there and tackle your dreams, folks. That's all we got for you today. Hopefully you took something away, but cut those strings that are holding you back and start moving forward in life because there's so much good out there. There are so many tools. There are so many different things that we can do to elevate, prosper, and grow in this life while we are here. It might seem like a long time when you see people live to 90, 100, but again, some people only make it a couple days, some make it a couple years. So like go out there. We don't know when our time is going to expire. And so make the most of it while you're here and find the positives in life. Stop focusing on the negatives and start transitioning your brain through the daily habits that you put in place. Go out there, have the desire to inspire. Kiss your mama for us. That's all we got for you today. It's on.
Peace.